I wanted to ask you, Casey, I just have so many questions. And like I was telling you before, we have a lot of, like, not only am I seeing this in the one-on-one services that I do, but now that we have a lot of students, and a lot of my students have students and like bigger programs, they're wondering how, first the question was like, should I launch? Should I keep marketing? And I think we've come to a consensus now, a few weeks into this, that like we have to continue to sell. But the game is going to change. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So real quick, I know who you are and you help so much, but can you introduce yourself real quick? And I will say, as you get going, like, I'm so grateful for what you guys have done for my business and how you've served and helped me. Gravy is just, I think, the world of you and what you do.
Thank you. And thank you. And I'm Casey Graham. I am the co-founder and CEO of Grady. But we're recording this, we're about almost 3 years old next month. And so, yeah, is a toddler 3-year-old? Is that considered a toddler? I never get that.
I think it is, yes.
We're kind of like a toddler. So kind of potty trained, kind of not. So we're just a growing company based out of Atlanta, but we're a virtual company. And, I always have to introduce my wife. Her name is Casey as well. So if I start.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I always have to, because sometimes I'll be sharing a story about Casey said this or Casey said that. And then people think I'm talking about myself in third person. They're like, you're a douchebag, And it's
like, an interesting quirk you have there.
I heard Garth Brooks actually does that. He talks about himself in third person.
What? Okay, makes mental note to Wikipedia that later. See if that's.
Anyway, so that's my wife's Casey. I've got 2 kids. Darby's 12, Gage is 8, and we live on a farm. And I hunt and fish, and drink a Coors Light. That's my kind of. So that's a little bit about me.
That's kind of how my dad was. I feel like I grew up, he has 2 girls. And so I grew up sitting in tree stands and fishing and just trying to learn that life, but ended up really girly. But
and then you went creative writer.
Awesome. Dads of girls. But well, I'm excited to get to talk to you about this. This is something that I think just figuring out how we can step in and serve people right now at different levels. Sure. We're all figuring this out together. And I was telling you and complimenting you on your emails, and I wasn't kidding, even though you kind of like brushed it off. You said this, and I wrote it down because I was like, that is everything. You said the world will never go back to the way it was. Your old copywriting doesn't matter. Your old pricing doesn't matter. I loved that. So I wanted to ask you, what are some ways that you have, that you would envision for our industry, ways that we can be creative and continue to serve people, but be creative when it comes to pricing?
Can I go big picture first and then get
do big like nitty gritty practical stuff is great, but I feel like I've needed a lot of mindset stuff lately.
Yeah. So I'll keep it concise, but here's the bottom line. 3 things hit at one time. I'm calling it the atomic virus. The atomic virus exploded small business. It created a small business crisis, which then is now going to create a recession that's here to stay. So everybody that just thinks, the mindset being that, once we get over this and get back to work, everything is going to be okay. It's not. It's the work. And I'm not a negative, like the world.
You're not. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's there is no normal. That's done. And this was a health 9/11. Okay. So after 9/11, the world shifted. You could walk somebody to a gate. Now you can't anymore. Awareness rose of different things. So different things. And so there's going to be a transition. And I don't know what all those transitions are going to be. I predict them to be in medicine, definitely in, I predict them to be in how small business operates. I predict them to be in healthcare, big deal, college loans. There's all these things that are going to shift that are big things. And so that's going to take time to work out. So while all that's working out, you and we got to operate a small business.
Yep.
And so, but the fear in the media and all that stuff is going to be operating in the minds of the people that we're trying to sell to.
Bingo. That's so good.
So the way I've been saying this is the tide went out on us all. And what Warren Buffett says is when the tide goes out, you get to see who's swimming naked. And
Mm.
all of us are. We were
Mm-hmm.
all neutralized. We're all scared. We're all locked in our houses. So this is unprecedented. And so the response has to be from a small business owner, and this is when we'll take it down, of what I believe the pivot is.
Okay.
Worrying about what your business was before this and your metrics before this, that they don't matter right now. What matters is this, is going to as many cold, naked people that are on the beach, and one by one, starting to help as many of those people as you can and hand out towels. And so handing out towels, you say, well, what does that mean? In the process of doing that, you're going to hear what the bleeding neck pain is. You're going to hear what their problem, you're going to hear how they say what they think. You're going to hear that kind of stuff. And so in this whole mass marketing thing where you send big emails to big lists and you have a bunch of social media following, the most important thing to be doing right now is one-to-one communication. And
Love
so
that.
I put my phone number on LinkedIn. I took 72 phone calls from small business owners in crisis. And the reason was, people acted like I was like Mother Teresa or something, like you're so, and it's like, no. I want to listen, but at the same time, I'm trying to hear, where are you? Where is everybody? What's going on? What are they saying? How are they saying it?
Yes.
And I would say for everybody listening to this is pick up your phone.
Yes.
And listen to your clients. Pick up your phone, listen to your market, pick up your phone and start there. That's number one before you say, yeah, just go sell. Because if you go sell and you're disconnected from reality, you're going to look like a moron.
Yep.
So the empathy comes from the stories. And then the empathy comes from, I was talking to Kate and Kate said this, and that's why when we're launching, we're doing this.
Yes.
So you've got to connect right now more than ever.
More than ever.
Story of one to the marketing to many. Story of one to the marketing of many. And then that's what will create a connection inside of this. So that's the big picture. Now we can take it down practical to pricing or whatever, but I feel like the philosophy here is important as well.
So good. Casey, there was like so many things in that I want to like write down as little journal prompts for me to walk through, because yeah, it's like, we always know it's important to listen, and like your audience will tell you what they need. Like these are things we say, but like we got to walk the walk now. Like it is time to actually, like, how good are you at listening? And I think also there's an element to what you're saying. It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a little bit of like, kill your darlings. If there's something that you've been doing for a long time and you loved it, but it's not working right now, you may have to pivot. Like you may have to change a little bit, because it's so important that you get the towels in these people's hands.
Yes. And so your pivot level right now depends upon what industry you're in.
Okay.
So if you're in the wedding industry, like my buddy, Hans is, and he has nice entertainment in Atlanta and 16 1099 DJs and all that kind of stuff. His pivot is so much different than somebody that's in the medical industry. Their industry's red hot. So right now, industry determines your level of pivot. If you're in a restaurant right now, your level of pivot is extreme. Best copywriting story I saw from this and best pricing story I saw from this was a taco shop out of East Nashville. Did you see that story?
No, tell me more.
It's important for this conversation because, restaurants are shut. They're done, it's like shut down besides carry out. And it's like, okay, but it's just going down so much. So they have a popular taco shop that just went to crap. And so what they did is they did what everybody listening to this should do, is they started making offers via social media and their email list to the people that already know, like, and trust them. And so they just started making offers around the idea of like, hey, we know you like this place because you come and you pack it out every Friday, but we can't do that anymore. So can you help us and we're going to help you? And the offer is going to be, is we're going to sell memberships to the taco shop. And so during this time period, if you pay whatever it is, $9.97, or you pay whatever this, and they did levels of memberships, and then it gets you all of this stuff that when we come back, like it gets you happy hour drinks year round. It gets you a free taco every Monday.
My gosh.
Whatever. But here's the point. They understood very quickly and intuitively that they needed to pivot. Now here's what's important for your audience. in making these new offers, I believe the way the world changes is they're going to figure out that's actually a good offer anyway. Like selling tacos is one thing, but actually there'll be memberships in the thing, and they're going to revolutionize the way that they do revenue and all this kind of stuff. And so for everybody listening, is the number one thing you need to be doing right now is making empathetic offers, and make offers that you normally wouldn't make at price points you normally wouldn't make, because everything's changed. And here's what people don't understand. They think, well, nobody will spend right now. Not true.
No.
They are spending a lot. They're just spending differently.
Yes.
They're not going out to eat as much. They've got extra income. They're sitting at home, and you can get the attention of people online more than ever.
Yep.
So I thought this was interesting too, Ashlyn. Our desktop, when I look at Google Analytics, so our desktop viewers has gone like,
I put that in an email yesterday. Across the board, everyone's seeing more desktop. Everybody's sitting at home on their couch with their computer in their lap.
So the point of me saying that is you can get attention right now, which we can get into the marketing of this, but getting the attention and then converting it are two different things.
Yeah.
And so if you have an email list, if you have social media, one-on-one, making small offers, like I'm making offers to people offline of a new thing that we're about to launch called The Outsiders. And it's this new thing, whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point was, as I'm taking these calls, I'm hearing people need something different right now, so we can provide that. And so for everybody to, instead of sitting there frozen and thinking nobody's going to do this, make offers one-on-one, learn, and then make offers to the whole. And you might find, like what we're doing in the wedding industry, I'm helping people in the whole wedding industry. What you might find is the problem that you've always had in your business of like cyclical revenue, seasonal revenue, you can solve it now by selling payment plans.
Yep.
So it's like right now is not the time to be scared and worried that your business go away. It's to try everything because it doesn't matter anyway. And because you're being so innovative so fast, you will find a way. But then people will say, well, Casey, you said to make offers and they didn't take it. Well, you're going to have to make 10 to find the one.
Right.
But have the courage to make the offer. Just make sure it's empathetically connected to the story of one when you do mass marketing.
So good. It's like it's this season is pressure cooking us again back in, like when you started out as an entrepreneur, all you were doing is trying to figure out how to solve a problem, make an offer. And then you got used to this rhythm of like, well, these are my offers. This is my offer ladder. And all this is doing is putting us right back to square one, where it's like, you got to think scrappy again. Like what would actually work?
You know, the word picture I see, I'm going to do an email on this actually, is like this atomic virus hit. And do you remember the show 24?
Yes, but I never watched it.
Okay,
maybe I should.
Kiefer Sutherland is like coming around the corner, and like it's like he's like always a little bit nervous around every corner, and like there's a remnant of people that he's kind of got to find and all this kind of stuff. That's where we are.
We're
like a Walking Dead, and that's the feel though. As an entrepreneur, is like the whole world is starting over. So be okay to be a beginner again.
Oh, that's a soundbite. Be okay to be a beginner again.
Because we all are. Hey, we all are.
Yeah.
So so what you're saying is true. And the people who will not only survive, but thrive through this, they will create the best innovations in their business in 3 months than they would have in 3 years when it was easy.
Yes. Yes. It's like the same as like when you were describing, and you put words to what I don't think I've realized that I was thinking, but like the movie industry, I've loved that they've been like direct to TV, some of these movies, because some of them, they would come out and I would think like, oh, it's hard to get a babysitter or whatever. Like I'll watch that when it comes to straight to TV. But by the time the movie got to my TV, I was like not really interested in it anymore. And I think movies are seeing like this could be a great, but it's like necessity is the mother of innovation kind of thing. And this is just pushing us a little further.
Can I give you one other interesting fact?
Yes, I love a factoid.
The most food brand billionaires were born during the Great Depression when there was a food shortage. Okay?
That is cool.
Little Debbie.
Figure it out.
Little Debbie started selling 5-cent cakes out of the car during the Depression. Publix was founded out of a guy's living room that bought in bulk so his family would have enough, but then sold the rest and kept a little profit. And so when you're looking around and this whole thing is like, I hope that the goal out of this, listen, I am just as, I know the importance of step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And I love practical. But I think the most practical thing that's needed right now is the permission to have courage to go.
I agree completely.
Fail again, screw it up, make the offer, get out, don't be frozen, and don't fly away and think, oh, nobody will buy. It's not true.
No.
So that's what we're seeing. And then, so make offers, number 1. Number 2 is this is the time to build an enormous amount of emotional market share with your audience.
I've never heard it put that way before. Emotional
market share. And so we have sprinted. And again, I'm not saying we've done it right or this, that, and the other. But when this happened, we created an internal mantra called built for this, because we've been waiting for it. And we've sprinted out and increased the amount of content, increased the amount of help, increased the amount of stuff. And from that, the market share, the emotional market share of the goodwill coming back in is next level. Now, have we cashed anything out of it? No. But is my phone lit up now with 20 clients that now see us as a leader? Yes.
Yeah.
So how are you taking ground in this and sitting around sending memes, which we have a memes channel, and I love memes.
We should have a memes. Yeah, there's some good ones.
It's my favorite. I love it.
Internet right now.
So I love it. But sitting around and being a meme, retweeter, and being a fear-driven person that's just taking in media, as a business, like right now, you're missing one of the biggest opportunities we have in our lifetime to take ground. Yeah. And it's here.
So good.
So, all right, I'm going to get off of my theoretical, and you lead me to.
Okay, I have one more question, but that was good. I feel like I'm going to re-listen to this when I need that. Like I was just talking to my friend Jenna, I was like, sometimes I just need a pep talk lately where it's just like, keep showing up, stay in the game. And you have given us that. So thank you so much. That is gold. One thing I learned from you, I guess maybe it was last year, is that typically during a election year, you see a little bit more of an opportunity for payment plans to come in because the market's a little more uncertain. Well, now there are just a myriad of reasons for us to be uncertain. So I had written down what I wanted to ask you about are some of the best tips, because I feel like Gravy is just a master of figuring out how to work with not just at-risk clients or customers, but those who just, they may just not have, it's just aspirationally, they want so badly to have a piece of this, but it's not all there, or their business is super cyclical. And so they need a little bit more of a stretched payment plan. But I wanted to ask you, what are some trade tips from Gravy that you would give us about working with clients and customers who are in that a little bit more at-risk scenario?
Number 1 is do not create some kind of massive policy that you send out to your customers to say, if you're at COVID, blah, 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 don't do that.
Yeah.
So number 1 is deal with the issue, deal with the customers one-to-one if they're at risk, and realize that just because they ask you for something, oftentimes, we have customers emailing in, we'll process, 475,000 customer requests this month. So we're seeing what's happening, and our strategies that we're using is, number 1 is that obviously you listen and with empathy, but then you make an offer. And then there's 3 different stay bonuses that we have. And what we found is that when you make offers, sometimes a lot of the people will take them. And so 3 stay bonuses that you can offer people that are at risk is, number 1 is, let's say they owe you, I'm just doing an example.
Yeah, this is great.
7 months on a payment plan.
Yep.
Okay. And they say, I can't pay, or this, that, and the other. Say, hey, well, we were under a payment plan and we totally understand. What if we did 50% off the rest of the payment plan, but you pay it all today, and then we call it even and nobody owes anybody anything? Bunch of people take that. Bunch,
I literally have an email in my inbox right now that I'm like, I need to figure out a response. That is amazing. That's
so
so
that's
good.
one. I had a client, friend of ours, Julie Solomon. Do you know Julie?
She's a client of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they did this and they got a $20,000 pop
Yep.
just by, we shifted on the, shifted of how we're going to communicate with the customer. So number one is that. Number two is if they're in an open-ended membership. I know a lot of people listening, they have a membership or this, that, and the other. You can do the same thing, but just say, hey, if let's say it's $100 a month and the year is $1,200. Say, hey, so what if we did half and we gave you 50% off the annual membership? You didn't have a monthly, but you kept getting the benefits, but we gave you 50% off. Okay, so they bought the annual membership instead of buying it and they got a discount or whatever. So that's number one. Number two is extending the payment plan. So if they owe you $49 a month for 6 months, say, we've seen this work. Hey, what if we did $19 a month for the next however many, 12 months?
Yeah. So taking that number, evenly distributing it over a longer period.
Yeah, and just extend the terms.
Yeah.
So, and just extend it and say, how about we agree upon that? That a lot of people will take that. And last but not least is a pause. I don't like pauses, but sometimes it's a good thing to say pause, which means you will not get charged this month, but on the billing date of the next month, whatever, in 30 days from now, you will be billed. Are we making an agreement? Yes, it's in writing. Cool. And people will take a pause. So those are just hacks and strategies. The principle behind it is, number one, speed. The quicker you get to somebody, the more likely they are to take the offer. Number two, empathy. And then number three, make it like a really good deal and make them an offer and create value even inside of that. And you'll keep a lot of customers.
So good. Those are incredible. Thank you.
And they may not, again, I have to always tell everybody, if you have 10 people, they're not going to work on 5. But for the 5, it'll work. So don't get discouraged if you make it and the first 2 say, no, I don't want it. Well, the third one might.
Right. Do you feel, one more question on the first one that you mentioned about the 50%, because that to somebody like me who doesn't look at the statistics all the time, like you, feels like a bold move. I'm like, but like bold flex, but at the same time, because you do know a lot of the data, I'm guessing with that particular person, you may be more likely, the odds are in your favor. I don't know. Does that make sense to go ahead and collect it now? Because long term, you probably won't get the rest of that because they may either go bankrupt or go out of business or whatever.
That's right. So here's another one that we're doing. So yes, I agree with you. Yes. I would rather just say here's what I say about customers in general. The way they come in is the way they go out. So anyway, that's why I would rather have a customer that actually isn't the emotional quick buyer, because they're going to be the they're going to be the emotional quick leaver.
Yes.
So we call those quick start Quincy's. That's the avatar that we write. Anyway, so there's that. Let me give you one other one that's a good
tip. This is amazing.
Is to go and say, hey, we can't do that. But what we're going to do is give you access to me. And I'm not saying you need to coach every client, but on Thursdays during this time, there's other people like you. I'm going to go live for 30 minutes and I'm going to help you get more out of this program than you've ever gotten. And my commitment to you is higher, and I'm giving you access. And we've got people that are doing that. We're doing that. I'm doing that at 2:00 today. I'm doing a version of that. Now I'm doing pop-up masterminds with everybody to stay close, stay close, stay close, stay top of mind, stay top of mind. And so that's another option as well.
Casey, your business brain is just it is lit right now. I feel like it's in its sweet spot. This is incredible.
It is. Renee, who works with me, worked together for 18 years, said, Renee, why do I feel like I'm in I feel like I'm in top of my game and I'm having the most fun. And she said, because there's no rules.
Yeah.
Just make it up.
Yeah. Well, this is so helpful. I'm so grateful, and sorry about all the tech stuff, but I feel like we got a good little recording that is going to help a lot of people. And I love too that this is very applicable with whether you service one-on-one clients. There's some extreme takeaways from this, or you have courses and memberships and more digital products takeaways as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Casey. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye.